Welcome to Paranormal Headline News. I'm your host, Bonnie Vent. Here are your top stories. Paranormal activity served up above SamB Restaurant. Haunted castle on Central Park, now luxury condominiums. Brought to you by Genesis Creations Entertainment, who's excited to announce their DVDs are now available for rent and download on Amazon.com for as little as $1.99. Search Bonnie Vent on Amazon.com for details. Some employees at SamB Restaurant have reported seeing ghosts when they're working at night. Manager Sandy Daum had said most people report activity usually occurring in the third-floor theater, which is now used for storage. Sandy Daum has worked at SamB Restaurant for more than 20 years, and when she works late at night alone, she sometimes catches herself looking over her shoulder. The third floor of the restaurant is rumored to be haunted, and Daum believes the rumors. It's rumored there was a murder on the third floor. Daum, a manager at SamB, said, "I've heard people who said they've seen ghosts, and I believe them." The alleged paranormal activity has even caused past employees to quit. One employee was vacuuming late one night when he looked up and saw a ghost of an old woman. He ran out and didn't come back, she said. He always felt that he was being watched. The sensation of being watched is a common occurrence at the restaurant, Daum says. Although Daum has never seen a ghost herself, she did have an experience she thinks may have been paranormal. One night, Daum was standing in the kitchen alone, and all of a sudden, all the pans fell down. "I still don't know what it was, but I'd love to debunk it myself," she said. Daum wasn't the only person interested in debunking SamB's hauntings. The paranormal research team Toledo Haunted Occurrences Research went to the restaurant in 2009 to investigate the claims. Director Brian Sayer said he and his team set up cameras and sound equipment in the restaurant once it got dark. "After a half an hour, we could hear something moving," Sayer said. "We heard plain as day something being dragged across the floor." The team's sound equipment also picked up the noises the group heard, and after running additional tests, the group concluded it was a folding chair moving across the floor on its own. "That building is definitely active," Sayer said. "There's paranormal activity in SamB's." The team went back to the restaurant for a second time and encountered more paranormal activity. The research team was in the garden room of the restaurant when its audio recorder started picking up sounds, and the team went to investigate. Senior Alexis Hatano said she always heard SamB's was haunted. "My friends who grew up here talk about this all the time," Hatano said. "The story has been passed down between the townspeople." Although Hatano has never seen a ghost in the restaurant, she has had paranormal experiences of her own. When she was younger, she said she walked downstairs in her house and saw a young ghost. "He was nice," Hatano said. "It was just kind of weird." Because of her experience, she said she'd like to see the ghosts in SamB's. "I would like to go, but I'm easily afraid of everything," she said. "It's kind of iffy." Daum said she probably believed anyone who claimed to have seen ghosts in her restaurant because she believes there's more in the universe than meets the eye. Luxury homebuyers don't typically seek out places associated with misery and death, but 455 Central Park West in Manhattan is an exception. The residential building located across from Central Park between West 105th and 106th Streets is rooted in medical history. It opened in 1887 as the New York Cancer Hospital, the first of its kind solely dedicated to cancer treatment. During the Victorian era, cancer was regarded as a contagious disease that only afflicted the poor or untidy. The hospital's uber-wealthy benefactors, such as John Jacob Astor III, sought to lift cancer's stigma and find a cure. Architect Charles Coolidge Haight designed the fortress-like French Renaissance-style hospital to facilitate the most progressive cancer treatment methods of the day. The patient wards were located in the fifth turret rooms because it was believed that germs thrived in corners. The circular spaces also maximized light and ventilation and allowed a nurse to be attentive to more than one patient at once. But cancer research was in its infancy, and the hospital, which had a crematorium on the grounds, gained a reputation as a death trap. The best outcome most patients could hope for was to pass their final days in a booze and morphine-induced stupor. The hospital's reputation evolved in the early 1900s as doctors experimented with X-rays. Marie Curie, who discovered radiation therapy, visited the hospital in 1921 and was impressed by its radium stockpile, at 4 grams, the largest in the world. In 1939, the hospital moved to the Upper East Side and is today known as the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. 455 Central West is a product of local historic preservation regulations. The former hospital undoubtedly would have been demolished had it not been landmarked in the city in the 1970s. Though an eyesore for decades, it has finally regained its striking appearance and has helped encourage new investment nearby. Plus, the ghosts still have a place to go bump in the night. Thanks for joining us today on Paranormal News. For more information on these stories, please go to www.sdparanormal.com and the Paranormal News feed page. Don't forget, sign up for a free subscription to Paranormal News. If you'd like to sponsor or advertise on Paranormal News, please send us an email at paraxnews@aol.com or join us at bonnievent.com. Until next time, I'm your host, Bonnie Vent.